Hey, happy Monday. It is Shamaree. I am a marriage and family therapist turned intimacy coach and relationship expert, and I empower women to be fully uninhibited and fulfilled in their intimate and sexual relationships. So this week I have a little bit of an interesting topic here. So I get a lot of people, not only professionally coming to me for help, but even just like friends in my life who have concerns around when the sex is bad and not really knowing how to navigate that, or not feeling confident or comfortable with navigating that. So the question that I'm going to answer for you today is, what should we be doing when the sex is bad? And sometimes it's bad. So we're definitely going to go through some of the steps that you can take when it is bad, when it's not what you wanted, not what you needed. So definitely drop a comment if you have a comment on the topic. But I'm going to go through some of my points. If you have additional questions or anything, just let me know and I'll see if I can get to that later. So first, when it comes to the sex being bad, the first thing that I want everyone to do is to use their critical thinking, all right? So we need context, right? So when the sex is bad, is this the first encounter that you're having with this person? Is this something that has been consistent over time? Has something specific been going on lately? So we want to ask ourselves these questions because there's many reasons why it could go wrong or it can be bad, whatever that means for you, right? So typically when it comes to the first encounter or even just the first couple of encounters, I always say people give others the benefit of the doubt. And I say that because typically when we're entering a new situation, a new circumstance, whatever, we may have some nerves, so that can impact our performance. So if we have performance anxiety, if we have anxiety about how we look, if we're going to be successful at pleasing this other person, there's a lot of questions that we might have that may impact how we're even approaching the situation. And if we're constantly thinking about all of those things, it's not likely that we're going to perform at our best. Even if that's the main thing that we're worried about. So I always say give people the benefit of the doubt if it's the first encounter or even the second or third encounter. I say allow that person and yourself a chance to figure each other out. If you like them, if you want to do it again, right? So definitely give the benefit of the doubt. Don't assume that that is their norm, because it very well may not be. And I say that because a lot of times this is particular with women, especially just like I said, even within my friend group or people that I know personally, not coming to me for help professionally, but just like, he doesn't know what he's doing. I didn't enjoy it. Things of that sort, but maybe it was their first or second chance or time with this person. So I always tell them, well, you don't know if that's what he does all the time or if this was a one night thing because he's intimidated by being with you, or maybe especially if you've been out drinking or using any substances, that can impact how someone performs. So definitely think critically before you just decide that this is what this person is capable of. That's all that they know. So think critically. Is this consistent over time? If it's consistent over time, they might think that they're doing a good job. So definitely kind of think about some of those things. If there's other factors that are going on, even just circumstantial outside of having sex. So if they're stressed, if they have mental health concerns, if there's a lot of things going on, all of that can potentially impact how someone shows up, or if they're even able to show up to perform. So definitely think critically first and foremost. And then next, after we've done that, we've decided what the reasoning may be behind it. The second thing is I want people to determine what made it bad. So bad means different things to different people, right? So I don't know what your bad is. You don't know what my bad is. So we need to know what the bad is. Why was it bad? A lot of times people, they come to me and be like, yeah, nah, I didn't like it. And they were like, it was bad. Okay, so what was bad? Some people can't even verbalize what made it bad. So what, other than it wasn't good, like, we need to know what made it bad. If we don't know what made it bad, how are we going to address it in the first place? So definitely figuring out what made it bad, whether that is technique. Some people don't know anatomy, so if it's a not knowing anatomy, maybe that's what made it bad. Could it be the connection between the two people? Maybe there wasn't as much of a connection as you would have wanted. Maybe you were missing something that you're interested in, something that really excites you, that was not a part of it. What was it that made it bad? We need to know that. All right. And then once we know what made it bad, now we have to move forward and think about, okay, so what would we like to improve here? Like, what could we do to make it better? What could we do to fix what was wrong, or to incorporate what you felt was missing? We need to identify what specific things you actually enjoyed that were not present, or things that you need to be done maybe a little bit differently. And we need to be very specific about this. A lot of times, like I said, people can very quickly identify that they did not like something, but what do you like? And being able to identify that for yourself, but also being able to have it so known that in a way that you are able to share that with someone else if you needed to, right? So definitely first, critical thinking, consider the circumstances and figure out what may have been going on at that time, determine what made it bad. So what is going wrong? What are you missing? And what would you like to improve? What do you need? What do you like? And then from there, once you do that, then you have the discussion. So obviously we're going to talk about it, right? Because especially if this is someone that you want to engage with, again, it is at your best interest to talk about it so that you can not only improve, but so that they know. Like, sometimes they don't know. Maybe they had a great time and you didn't. So definitely you need to have some sort of discussion. But you need to know what went wrong and what you need before you bring that to someone else, because otherwise the conversation is not going to move forward. It's not going to be a problem-solving conversation. It's mostly going to feel like an attack. It's going to feel like you're trying to tell them that they don't know what they're doing or that something is wrong with them, rather than you guys are trying to figure out a way to make it better. So you need to think about these things first and foremost for yourself, and then we have the conversation. And during this conversation, we want to use our healthy communication techniques always. Any difficult conversation or any serious conversation, we want to make sure that we're very, very concentrated on using these skills, these healthy communication skills, so that it makes it a little bit easier. It's not going to be an easy conversation regardless for most people, but it makes it a little bit easier when you are prepared with these techniques. And I'll give you 3 of kind of like my top recommendations for any serious or difficult conversation that you need to have. So the first one is going to be making sure that you're having the conversation at a neutral time and in a neutral space. So when you are having this conversation, telling them that maybe there's something that you guys need to work on with the sex, like something is missing, you need more, whatever it is that is the concern for you, you want to make sure that you're not having that conversation while you're having sex, immediately after, or immediately before. You want to make sure that it's completely separate, because people are not going to take it well if you're already within a situation where they're vulnerable, or already in a situation where you're already disappointed, you're already upset. You want to make sure it's a neutral time and a neutral space. So make sure that the physical location of where you are is a neutral space where both parties can feel comfortable to have that sort of conversation. So neutral space and time, first communication tip. The second one is I statements. And this one, I know y'all all heard about it before, I know, but this is very important. So even if it's what they're doing or not doing that has been the issue for you, you want to phrase it in a way that you are the focus. So speak from your stance. I like when someone touches me like this. I like when this is the pace. I like to incorporate this. I like to spend time doing this. Make it about yourself. If you point the finger and say, well, you don't know where this is, or you don't do it like this, or you be missing this, that's going to automatically feel like an attack. It's automatically going to put them on a defense. If they're on the defense, they're not listening to anything that you're saying. They're not going to try to problem solve with you. They're just going to defend themselves against what you're saying. And so always, 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 I statements. I. It's about you. Because ultimately, you're the one who has these feelings. I feel like it's not satisfying. I need this in order for me to feel like I'm satisfied. So I need to make sure that I'm phrasing it in that way. Like, I need a little bit more of this, or I would prefer if we did not do this. But I love when we do this. All of those statements should start with I. Right? And then also allowing them the opportunity to do that too, because they have their own perspective, right? I don't know if y'all hear the plane. But the third communication tip is going to be sandwiching. So you guys probably heard about this too. But sandwiching areas of improvement or things that you would like to change inside of other positive things. So you want to make sure that you're constantly giving people positive reinforcement. You're giving them compliments and praise for things that they may be doing well. And you especially want to do that if you're going to be telling them things that maybe they're not doing so well, because this is going to pad that area for improvement. This is going to pad you telling them that basically they're not meeting the mark, right? So this is going to make it a little bit softer, a little bit more digestible. So you want to make sure that if you have to tell them like, hey, I don't like when you do this, I don't feel comfortable with this, that you're also including the things that they do well. So if they kiss really well, if they are really great at foreplay, or they touch you a certain way and you love it, make sure that you're highlighting those things while you're also telling them like, hey, I really don't like how you do this, or this does not bring me pleasure. This is something that has made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. This is not something that I want to continue doing. Whatever that area is, making sure that you're also highlighting the positive things at the same time that you're doing that, so that they know that it's not necessarily like, I think you're terrible. It's just that I need something different. I need something more. And that way it's a little bit easier for them to accept it, to hear it, to see what you're talking about. And then also, like I said, allowing them the opportunity to do the same if they have anything to add in that respect. So critical thinking, first and foremost, analyze what and why this may be a thing at this time, and giving the benefit of the doubt, understanding that we're all human. We all have insecurities. We all get anxious and worried about things. We all have those similar experiences. So I think a lot of times, women especially, we don't necessarily give men the same amount of grace that we would have for ourselves or our counterparts. So sometimes they nervous, sometimes they work something up in their head, sometimes if they've been utilizing substances, all of those things can impact the experience. So definitely making sure that you're taking a critical look at all of those things, the whole picture, and determining from there whether or not this is something that you're willing to put the effort in to have that conversation, to see if you could potentially make it better, and the next thing would be to determine what made it bad. So why did you not like it? What did it not do for you? What was missing? And then along with that is determining what you would need to improve, what you feel like is going to enhance it for next time, or just knowing like what I like. This is what I like personally, so this is something that I would like to be incorporated, right? Once we know all of those things, so we took into account the whole circumstance, the whole situation, we determine what we did not like, we know what we do like, we can have that conversation. During that conversation, which we are going to have at a neutral time, in a neutral space, we're going to use our I statements and make it about how we are experiencing it so that they are not defensive, so that they are not automatically offended by what you have to say. So definitely those I statements, and then sandwiching, making sure that we're telling them, okay, this ain't working, but these are all the other things that you're doing that are great. And then once you have done that and you've had the conversation, you keep the door open for conversation, because this is something that is potentially ongoing. If you plan to continue to have sex with this person, this is something that may need to continue to happen over time as your interests change, as you experience life, because like I said, stress, mental health concerns, medical concerns, life circumstances, all of those things can potentially impact your sexual experiences. So you want to continue to have these conversations as those things change, to make sure that everyone can kind of understand and be on the same page, or at least a similar page, to see if you guys are compatible and that both people or all people can be satisfied with the experience that they're having. And then after that, after you've had the conversations, you've kept an open mind as best you can, you feel like you still struggle from time to time with this, or you struggle consistently with this. If you struggle consistently with this, then you need to have deeper conversations, or you need to take another step. So as far as the conversation piece goes, a lot of people tell me that they don't know exactly what to say, what to ask in order to get these conversations going. I have a free resource that you guys can utilize. It's completely free, 69 sex questions. So if you don't know what you should be asking, how to ask it, or whatever the case may be, I have questions for you. All you have to do is go to the link in my bio here on Instagram, click on that, scroll down to the freebie, click on it, put your email in, and go ahead and confirm to receive the list of the questions. The questions are going to help you to better know yourself, what you like, so determining what you need, what would make your experiences better. It has questions that can help you identify that if you do not know, because some people don't, and that's actually very common, especially with women. But we need to find out if we want to be satisfied, if we want to have experiences that are amazing for us. We need to start identifying these things so that we can incorporate them. So the free list of the questions is going to help you to identify them, but then you can also use it as a resource to create this conversation with your partner. So you can ask these questions to them, have them answer, you answer, to create that conversation. So if you don't know how to start it, got you. It's free. There's no excuse. Go get it, and have the conversation. If still beyond that conversation, you're getting deep, you're asking the real questions, so not just what's your favorite position, not just you like it fast or slow, asking like real questions to really get to the meat of what's going on, what you need, what you like, what you want. Then from there, if it's still not working, if it's still not great, you're still not having a good time, then you need to ask for help. Because you do not have to have bad sex. Like, it's not a thing. It's not. You can enjoy yourself, and you can work through, even if you have past trauma. I have past trauma. I promise you can. So if you need to, definitely reach out for help. I can help you. I am taking one-on-one clients now, so you can go to that link in my bio. Again, if you scroll down to work with me, schedule your free breakthrough call. It's a 30-minute call with me so we can see how we can work together one-on-one. I can help you to discover what it is that you need, if you need help along that way, if you want to have better sex, more sex, if you want to work on intimacy, you want to work on your sexual confidence, I got you. I can help you with all of that. Because if you've tried many things and they are not working, we can only do the things that we know. And so if you ask for help, you now have a completely different mind, a completely different person with different experiences, and they can give you alternatives. And the fact that I'm a professional, I've been providing counseling services for years. I have lots of education. I can assist you not only through the professional capacity, I also have my life experiences. So you are just getting more ideas, more guidance, and like I said, definitely go schedule your time with me, or you can always go to a sex therapist or a sex therapist in training as well, because you want someone who's specialized. So if you are looking for assistance, make sure that the person has the expertise that you're looking for. Yes, it's helpful to go to therapy in general, but if you're going to a general therapist who, for example, works with people who are going through life transitions, they might not feel super comfortable talking to you about the sex stuff. And if they're not comfortable, you're not comfortable, you're not going to get it done. So definitely make sure that if you are going to ask for help, that you're asking the right person. Don't go asking people who can't help you and then take that as a sign that it's not possible. It is. And so that is what I have for you. I can quickly just review. Again, drop in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, #replay, but drop in the comments what you usually do when the sex is bad, because I feel like all the people, or most of the people that I talk to when the sex is bad, they just want to be done with it, which is fine. If you don't like them and you have no interest in them beyond that, then let's not waste time. However, if this is someone you're interested in potentially, you like them outside of that bad experience, then I think it's definitely worth giving the benefit of the doubt and going through these steps. So again, critical thinking, think about it deeply. Think about all the potential circumstances. Determine what was it about the experience that was bad. Like, what made it bad? What was unsatisfying? What was not satisfactory for you? And what would you like to do to improve it? What do you want to do differently next time? Have the discussion. Be honest and open. And as much as you can, we're humans, but as much as you can, not to take things personally, and vice versa, not to make things personal, because most things in life are actually not personal. So definitely use the techniques, the good communication techniques. And then if you are having that conversation, you're using the 69 sex questions, y'all doing all the things, and it's still not working, get some help, ask for some help. Because it is possible. You just might need some help, and that's totally fine. We all need help at one time or another. So definitely try this out. Let me know what you think, how you feel. But I'm about to get up out of here. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye.